Welcome back to another episode of Fix It Dad. Today we are going to start installing our garage doors that were just delivered today. And they will go a 10 by 10 here, here, and there.
Hello, I am Karaba Gopa. Welcome to Fix It Dad.
And I'm going to install the back one first because there's less stuff in the way. All right, we'll see you later. If you have any questions, leave your comments down below in the comments section. And if you're not comfortable with this after watching it, seek a professional. This is the hardware box. And some things I was going to mention that you're going to need. You're going to need an impact. You're going to need a punched angle iron for doing your backhang of your track and your spring pad. And you will need a way to cut that angle iron, which I use bolt cutters. Most likely need a tape measure, vice grips, some type of cutters. These are cable cutters, but I use them for cutting like all these straps. They like this one right here. You're gonna hit it like that, and then it breaks it. You will need winding bars to widen your springs. So those are some of the things that you will need that does not come with your garage doors. So, all right, well, we're gonna put you back on time lapse. All right, bye. First thing you're gonna do is section everything off. Cables, these are gonna go over there. 1, 2, 3, 4, top end, bottom end. Same thing over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, top end, bottom end, and these other number ones will be in the middle. You're going to take everything and set it coinciding with your sides. So I'll take this. These will go here. That. That'll be your first panel. Also, another thing you should always carry is a knife anyway. Gonna take these out, unravel them. Put one on that side, put one on this side. We've already cut the plastic off, of course, the first panel. I'm gonna go ahead and show you the first panel, how I put it together. Alright, so this is where you're going to put your bottom fixture on. And then you're going to put your red ones. It's mainly a warning so people don't take these screws off. It's like think twice about this before you do what you're about to do. Because if you take these off with the tension on it, you will really likely kill yourself or hurt yourself really bad. Take your cord, come look over here and show you. So you pop your cord on, your cable on, barely lift up your hinge, kind of push down on the door, and just tuck it in there. It just keeps it so it's not in the way later when you're setting everything, setting your tracks. So that's it. And then you're gonna set this right up against there. Level. All right, so black is right and red is left. You'd think that red would be right, R would be right, but it's opposite. So, I'm gonna open the gate. So you're gonna slide on your drum. Slide on your spring. There's your bearing plate. And it doesn't matter which way you go on this, which side you put your bearing on. So you just want to make sure you put your bearing in there. Spring. Drum. And then you're going to put your bearing plate on. So that, go ahead and put that here.
Yeah.
Put it there. You're going to take this door, this panel, right. because sometimes the concrete's not perfectly square. Looks like that end needs to come up just that much. So, what I've always tried to do is take a stick or something, just shimmy one side, just a little bit. I'm looking down this edge right there and evening this up towards the other side, which looks like we need to bump it this way just a hair. Let's see what this side looks like. Really close. All right, now we're gonna put the track on. So you hook the rollers in, and this has to flap. This back part of the track goes behind the door. See how I put it in there? And then you're gonna want, see that play right there? About that much. And the same at the bottom. Right there. Also, when you put these slots, try to put it close to the middle of the slot. That way you have room for adjustments later. Always put 2 in it. And see how I'm kind of far out right here. So now I can loosen this one and push this in just a hair. And that's going to be a little bit better on that part of it. The door still needs to come this way, just in here. There. All right. Next side. That's why you loosen all of these, so you can be able to get it in here right. You can't hardly pull this track, but see if this track is off the ground just a hair, you can adjust it. So, but you gotta kind of hold it up there just a hair off the ground. You don't want it to be, you know, 1 inch off the ground, but just a little. You still got play right there in the track. That's good. Pop your cable out. Blow off the metal shavings. Now we're ready for the top section to lean up against here. And then we start stacking them up. This is how we set the horizontal track. Make sure these bolts are loose. And I've put in this screw and this screw. And that gets this track secured now. Got a little bit of play right here. And we'll adjust this here in a minute, but you can kind of get this about where you want it, and go ahead and tighten this one down right here, kind of by hand. And this is where Goober comes into play.
Goober.
Hey, Goober. He's gonna hand me the track, and then he's gonna carry it up that side. Like so, and he can just hold it and move it as I need it. And then you're gonna put these two up. Okay, right there. Down. Take your vice grips and vice grip the track together right here at the back. See that right there? And then tighten these screws down right here. You gotta these, make sure that they're sucked all the way flush, which they are. And then remove your vice grips. Now we're gonna tighten this shoulder bolt and put on our bearing plate. Alright, so you bolted both the two shoulder bolts up to the bearing plate and tighten them up like I did. And then I'm gonna put these Bulltecks into the bearing. Just like that. Put those three in there. And this side is done, except for the back hang leader. Alright. Next thing I'm going to show is putting the spring pad together. Measured, put our spring pad in, and we got a couple pieces of angle iron. So take your C-grips, another tool that you're gonna need. I'm gonna get this close. If you clamp it there, you know that this is going to be straight whenever it sits here and stops swinging. You know that's straight like a plumb bob. But depending on where I'm going to go, it looks about right there. On this one, I have something in the way, but I'm going to mark it with this. Here. Like so. Half inch. And half-inch wrench. Good. Now we're going to screw this to the channel, to the C channel. Let me see and I'll show. Screw this to the C channel. We'll put one on each side there, and then to the I-beam we'll go one through there and one over here on that side, and then we'll set the springs. Okay. Alright. So first, stab this in that hole. So And then the other one. And you're gonna even them about. Then you're gonna bolt this up. I think that'll be even, but I always put this bolt in and go, just put one bolt in and then go back and look at it, because you want this even, because you don't want to put this bearing in a bind. So you can either go in the hole to hole, or put it in the slot. I'm gonna move it in the slot so I can move it down just a hair and then tighten it, because you don't want this bearing in too much of a bind. And if I go too much, it'll be sagging, because that'll be another inch down. So I'm gonna break that and go about a ½ inch down. You're gonna start with the left side first. All right, so you're gonna put your cable in here at the bottom, hook it in all the way, roll it around, making sure you stay in that slot. I always take my thumb and push right here on that peel on the cable, and then push it in tight, push it over. Make sure that you're not caught on anything all the way down. Then you're gonna take your wrench and you're gonna go ahead and finger tighten these. And then you're gonna tighten these down. About a turn, maybe turn and a half. And then you're gonna take your vice grips. And you're going to set them for the shaft. While you're holding tension, you gotta hold tension on them. And you're gonna lock it down like this. I'll show you on this side, doesn't matter which side you do. Like that. Cable's tight. And that's not going anywhere. Then you're gonna go set your other drum on the opposite side. Put that in the slot. Roll it around. And always push it right there, make sure that cable's sitting really firm on there. Make sure you're all the way up against your bearing. Make sure your cable's not caught on anything. And finger tighten this down. And then set it. Now you're gonna wind your springs. One. You gotta hold back pressure on it until you set the first set screw. Set your other set screw. And take your winding bar out. Lift a little pressure, not too much because you don't want to loosen your cable. Just enough to drop the bar out. Then do your other spring and take off your vice grips. All right.